Do you love breakdowns? Do you need stats? Do you crave insight? Download the AllStar app. UFC, Bellator, PFL 1 Championship, and more. Ad-free, fully customizable. Download the best app in the business. Link in descriptions. Heavyweight co-main event. Alexandr Volkov versus Alexandr Romanov. Volkov, number 8 in the rankings, 34 years old, orthodox, 35-10 record, 9-4 in the UFC. Wins over Jairzinho Rozenstruik, Marcin Tybura, and Alistair Overeem. 74% finishing rate, 23 KOs, 3 subs, 12 first-round finishes. 9 months between fights for him, and he is the underdog. Romanov, 14 in the rankings, 32 years old, southpaw, 16-1 record, 5-1 in the UFC. Wins over Chase Sherman, Jared Vandera, and Marcos Rogerio de Lima. 94% finishing rate for him, 6 KOs, 9 subs, 11 first-round finishes, 7 months between fights for Romanov. Die Hard, this is a fun matchup, man. What do you got on this one?
Yeah, this is a great fight. I got to tell you guys, I love me some Alexander Volkov. He's my favorite Russian. He's a man who I have made loads of money backing in the past because he's just been kind of routinely underrated throughout his UFC run. I feel like people never really give him the credit that he deserves. But man, this guy Romanov is something else. He can pick up 300-pound men and huck them across the cage like they are nothing. And I really feel like, who was it in the comment section before that said the UFC is rigged? It's not rigged, but they definitely set certain guys up. This is a spot where the UFC is giving Alexander Romanov a test on a platter, somebody who has exactly the weakness that his offense fills. We have seen my guy Volkov struggle with takedown defense. He has a good get-up game, but he struggles with being taken down in the first place. And Alexander Romanov is going to put him on his back. Now, this fight is not at altitude like Romanov's last fight was. Does that mean his cardio is better? I think it does. And if his cardio is better, if he gets a 10-8 in that first round, worst case scenario is a draw as long as he doesn't get finished, right? I think Romanov is going to ragdoll Volkov on Saturday. I think he's going to take him down, big brother him, get on his chest, and whether he Kong ground and pounds this man into the canvas or whether he gives up his neck, I think Romanov is going to find his way to a submission. The one that I'm looking at is an arm lock, guys. I think Volkov, he digs for underhooks, and he got a straight arm locked in his last loss against Tom Aspinall. He just doesn't mind those long, lanky limbs. And when you've got a power advantage over your opponent, there's nothing you can do against a Kimura or Americana. I think that's what's going to happen. Romanov by round 1, Kimura and ass beating is my prediction.
There you go, J-Spec.
All right. Andrew coming in with everybody thinks Romanov is just going to walk in there and take him down at will. Romanov will gas as the fight goes due to energy spent on takedowns. Volkov is huge. Blades wasn't strong enough to keep him down. I'm taking the experienced Volkov on this one. The fan poll comes in really tight. 54% of the fans siding with Mr. Volkov. Everybody kind of knows now. We were wondering, what is Romanov? How are you going to beat Romanov? Well, we saw it last time. Sure, elevation, we'll give that some dues, but it's his gas tank, right? And the gas tank cardio systems, those are not things that just develop in 7 months. That's something that takes a little time to get going. Also, I heard Volkov is looking like maybe in the best shape ever. So a giant dude, best shape ever, already knows your weakness. He's probably going to try to make Romanov spend gas, get tired. That's what I see. I see Volkov using his veteranship, slowing, taking that first round away from Romanov, eventually wearing him out and outpointing him to a decision, probably. I don't really make a whole lot of finishes choices, but decision for Volkov on this one.
I do want to mention one more thing real quick. We did get confirmation, by the way, guys, that this is going to be in the small cage. That's been confirmed. We weren't sure if it was going to be big or small, and that massively favors Romanov in this spot because Volkov's a guy that needs the range and the room to move and use those long, lanky limbs. Sorry, just one more point that I forgot to mention, but I think it's a big factor as far as who gets their hand raised in this fight. If it's big cage, big advantage Volkov.
That's a major factor, man. The small cage for Romanov. A quick little side story. I was in Phuket last year, and I was like on my motorbike, and I pulled out like this side street, and all of a sudden, this big ass man on the spaceship of a motorcycle just drives by, laughing and cackling like a schoolgirl, right? When they're made a little interesting joke, and guess who it was? It was Romanov, and I was just like, that was very random, you know what I mean? You know, fighters are always there in Phuket, but yeah, I didn't even know he was on the island, but he just like, you know, the man is massive. Like seeing heavyweights in person is it's another thing, man. They're not even like human looking. You know, when you see NFL players in person or even like NHL players in person, you're just like, that's not a human. That's like they have some extra genetics going on in there. And to me, Romanov, I think he goes in there and he wrestles the shit out of Volkov. I think that's what he's going to do. There's a 5-inch height difference. He's going to be able to dip under him and get those body locks. He's going to be able to get into the clinch. He's going to be able to dump him on his head. I think that's what's going to happen. He's going to rinse and repeat that. And I don't think Volkov has the style to gas Romanov. I think Romanov will only gas himself. But I don't think that's going to happen in this fight. I think Romanov goes in there. I'm picking him by submission as well. I think they'll get into the second round. I don't think it's going to be the first round, but I think they'll get to the second round. But eventually he'll find that. And even, Volkov will probably get out of a submission or two. Who knows?